Hello everybody and welcome to my kitchen. I'm Kathy Goldberg, this is Kathy's Kitchen, and I'm with the M Healthy program at the University of Michigan. And today we're going to be making some beautiful bowls. We're going to be making an Asian inspired bowl, a Mediterranean bowl, and a Southwest style bowl today. And the best way to build a bowl is to start with that base of grains, and then we're going to pile on the veggies. We're going to add a little bit of protein. You can use leftovers, which I call prepped overs, because it's just a good thing to have a little extra to add to your bowls, or to have to be reused and reborn and repurposed. And then we're going to make a great sauce that ties it all together. It's that great burst of flavor that you really need to really bring all the flavors together. And the sauce actually doubles as a marinade too, so that's good. And then you're going to top it off with something crunchy or fun, such as olives or pine nuts or wontons or tortilla chips or herbs, or just whatever you want to do to make it really give it that bang. Bowls can be made ahead of time and kept in your refrigerator and warmed up. They can be taken to work. They can be made for the kids. You can even make breakfast bowls and smoothie bowls. The way that you build a better bowl is to start with a base of grains or some kind of a high fiber food. You could also do noodles, or cauliflower rice is really popular right now, and we're going to be doing that. The key to a great bowl making experience is prep. When you make things ahead of time and prep and wash all your ingredients and chop them up and batch cook your grains ahead of time, you'll have everything ready so that each person can make their own fabulous, individual, unique, and fun to them veggie, grain, and protein bowl. Now, I like to batch cook my grains at the beginning of the week, and I do it a little bit differently from how the package tells you to do it. We're doing some brown rice and some quinoa, and also cauliflower rice, which isn't actually batch cooked. Well, it is batch cooked, but not the same way as I do the grains. When I'm cooking grains, I cook them a lot like pasta, and I put them in a strainer and rinse them off really well, and then add them to a big pot of boiling lightly salted water, such as I would cook pasta. And then I cook it according to the package directions, and I pour this out in the strainer and then fluff it up with a fork and put it back in the pot, and they stay great. Or else I'll keep them into these nice storage containers for the whole week, so you can just scoop out whatever you need. It makes things a lot fluffier and a lot less sticky, and it's a much easier foolproof way if you're having trouble with grains. I do the same thing with quinoa. It comes out a lot fluffier and nicer. For the cauliflower rice, all I do is take a skillet and saute it in the tiniest amount of oil for about 5 minutes until it's just crisp tender. Cauliflower is grain-free, so it's great for all you paleo people or people who are watching your blood glucose. So it's better for people with diabetes. So I'm going to get started building our Asian bowl, and I actually like to start with the sauce. So our Asian bowl, we use some fresh ginger, and this is fresh ginger. Ginger has amazing medical, powerful medicinal properties. It helps with indigestion, it helps with nausea and morning sickness. It doesn't keep you from vomiting, but it keeps you from being queasy. It reduces inflammation, so it's good for your joints. It's good for if you have flu or cold, and it helps fight infections. It is available fresh or dried or juiced. It also helps with the other inflammation from arthritis. So always keep some fresh ginger in your house. You can freeze it if you don't use a lot of it. Wash it, and it is very easy to peel. I'll just use this little spoon here. With a spoon, so you can just remove the peel with a spoon and get through all these little nooks and crannies very easily. Better than using a knife or a vegetable peeler, because you can't really cut yourself with a spoon. When I have it all peeled, I tend to, here's my little rag here, toss it into this mini food processor. one of the great kitchen gadgets of all time. I use this for almost everything. Breadcrumbs, pestos, they're not expensive, so I'll put the ginger in here, and it grinds up super fine to look like this. So, and this will stay in your refrigerator for several days and look wonderful. So we're going to add some ginger and then some garlic, which I do, after I do the ginger, I throw in a bunch of cloves of garlic. I don't do the garlic first because then when my ginger tea tastes like garlic, I don't like that so much. But garlic can taste like ginger and that's fine. So I do the garlic, also a great thing for you, very healthy, good for your blood vessels. Some rice vinegar. If you don't have rice vinegar, you could use cider vinegar or any kind of wine vinegar, whatever you tend to like. Rice vinegar is lower in acidity, so it's great. We're gonna add some honey. And if you're doing this for vegans, you may wanna do agave syrup or agave nectar, which is a plant-based sweetener, but very nice. You could probably use maple syrup, but in Asian food, I wouldn't necessarily use that, but you could, I guess. I'm more of a honey person. Honey also has some medicinal properties. We're going to do some low sodium or reduced sodium soy sauce or tamari. Tamari is usually gluten-free, so that's kind of nice if you're watching that. And we're going to mix that together just to dissolve the honey. We're going to add a tablespoon and a half of avocado oil. Avocado oil is got the same nutrition benefits as olive oil. It's mostly a monounsaturated fat, but it's very neutral. Unlike olive oil has more of a grassy taste, and it's a nice neutral flavor, and it also can take high heat, where olive oil cannot take high heat. It'll start to smoke at a lower temperature. Avocado oil you can take to a pretty high temperature, and it won't smoke. And you don't want your oil smoking. No smoking, because then it oxidizes and it becomes unhealthy. A little bit of roasted or toasted sesame oil gives a burst of flavor here. And then for an extra burst of flavor, some chili flakes or some chili paste or whatever you happen to like. And if you're not into spicy, you can leave that out. I like it spicy. So I just whisk that together. Delicious. This sauce can also be used as a marinade for chicken or tofu or fish or pork or beef. It's delicious. I would always make like a triple batch of this and just keep it in the refrigerator. It'll last for weeks. Delicious. So we're going to keep our sauce to the side and we'll start building our bowl. We have some brown rice that we're going to put on the bottom that's been already cooked, obviously, because we did that at the beginning of the week. And we're going to just move that around. We're going to add some nice broccoli flowerets. Broccoli is a powerhouse of nutrition. It's in the cruciferous vegetable family, along with cabbage and Brussels sprouts and cauliflower. And it really is something that you need to try to get into your diet almost every single day. It's full of vitamins and minerals and antioxidants. It has multiple health benefits, such as it helps stabilize your blood sugar. It can actually reduce your blood sugar. It can lower your cholesterol. It lowers the bad cholesterol, the LDL, while raising the HDL cholesterol. It has been shown to be anti-inflammatory and has even been shown to help with Alzheimer's disease, memory function, and possibly even prevent cancer. So it's full of fiber, it helps with your digestion, and there's just more reasons to eat something in the cruciferous family every single day. There's a lot of scientific research about that. We're going to do some bell peppers. Now I'm going to just show you quickly how to cut a bell pepper, because a lot of people cut bell peppers all the time, but I think there's a really easy way. And I like to just take off the top, take off the bottom, and then you can see that there's a seed pod in the middle there, and the core usually falls right out. And then you can use those nice sections. I go around the seed pod, cutting the veins, and I can discard this without having seeds and veins and stuff all over the place. And then it's very easy to manage. Save some of these little cuts for snacks, make a little, I always cut it also from the inside out because the inside is grippier, it's less slippery. And so I just make a little few cuts. You could use these parts too. Very nice. Peppers, full of vitamin C, delicious. The more colorful they are, the better they are for you, higher in antioxidants. And I like to cut them again just so it's in more of a bite-sized piece so that you're not having food coming out of your mouth while you're trying to eat it. That's kind of crazy. So I'll just save this off to the side for another dish, another day, prepped over. So that's good. You can cut different size slices and just put them in a snack bag of veggies around in a bowl for some other, so the kids can grab and go and grab some good peppers and good nutritious snacks when they're ready. So whenever you're cutting up vegetables, cut up some extra ones and just keep them in your fridge. It's going to be something that'll be way healthier than grabbing a box of cookies or crackers. We're going to have some snap peas that I just cut in on diagonal. Add some nice green fresh crunch. Some grated carrots. You can get these in the refrigerator section of the supermarket, or it's very easy to do on your own. You can even do it with a vegetable peeler. I'm a big fan of peeling your own carrots. I think they taste much better. We have some purple cabbage, again, in that great family of the cruciferous vegetables. And this is super easy to manage. Cut it in half and put it on its flat side so it's not rolling around. Remove the core. And then just shred it by going just along its little edges like that. I'm going to use some of this in the Southwest bowl too. Oh, it's starting to slide on me, so just move it so it doesn't do that. So I'm going to cut up a little bit of extra. Purple cabbage has more antioxidants because of its bright color. You want to try to eat a rainbow every day. And it's hard to get purple vegetables often. Blueberries, I guess, are in there, and eggplant. But cabbage is delicious. And then you can make coleslaw. You can put this in a stir fry later. We're just going to add some. As a matter of fact, you know what I'm going to do with this? I'm going to take a little bit of this and get a little bit of my sauce and just press that a little bit because that'll help break down the crunchiness of it. Just enough to make it more flavorful, like a little cabbage slaw. Edamame, or immature green soybeans. Super great source of protein, and they are just they usually come in a pod, and the pod of an edamame is not edible. You can just steam them. They always come frozen in the market. You want to try and buy organic if you can, because these soybeans have more pesticides sprayed on them than other crops. But you can get them already shelled and in the bag, and these just put them in a pot of boiling water or steam them for 2 to 3 minutes until they just stay nice and crunchy. Delicious snack. Often seen in Asian restaurants. And great for the kids too. They could just pop them into their mouth. And then we'll just add our slaw. So this is great just as it is because it's full of veggies. It's got some plant-based protein with the edamame in there. But I had some leftover salmon, or prepped over salmon, that I made for dinner the other night. So I'm just going to add a little bit of that. I'm going to slice it up into bite-sized pieces and just top that on top of the of our bowl. You could use chicken or turkey or pork or shrimp or whatever you'd like. And I also forgot to mention that the amount of sauce that we have here is enough for 2 bowls. All the recipes that you'll have on the website in the link will be for 2 bowls, but I'm just doing one at a time. So just drizzle your sauce on, let it trickle down for all those fabulous flavors, and get everything just great tasting and delicious. We'll save the other half of that sauce for the other bowl or for another day. And there you have it. Oh, wait, I didn't top it. I've got some toasted sesame seeds here. I just put them in a skillet and toasted them lightly. And I'm just gonna put those on top of there just for a little extra crunch. and fun and flair, and they're also great for you. Seeds and nuts, another little more protein, a little more fiber. And we could put scallions, cilantro, whatever you'd like. Make it your own, make it fabulous. Enjoy the Asian-inspired bowl. Now we're going to make our Mediterranean veggie, grain, and protein bowl. And again, we're going to start with the sauce first. And I've got some garlic and Dijon mustard, about half a teaspoon of garlic and a teaspoon of Dijon mustard. You could use chopped shallots, which are a nice little mild onion and tastes great too. But I always happen to have some garlic minced in my refrigerator, as we had for the Asian bowl. Some honey, again you could use agave syrup if you wanted to make it more plant-based. And some red wine vinegar this time. Last time we used rice wine vinegar. This is a little red wine vinegar, actually made from fermented red wine. You could use white wine vinegar, champagne vinegar, cider vinegar, any kind of vinegar that you happen to like or happen to have on hand. Tarragon vinegar, even raspberry vinegar would taste pretty good in this. I'm gonna whisk that a little bit just to dissolve our honey. And we have some olive oil, extra virgin olive oil. I think it's 1 to 2 tablespoons, 1.5 maybe. And we're going to whisk that in. And the Dijon mustard actually helps emulsify it so that the olive oil stays suspended in the vinaigrette dressing, so it will stay, it won't separate out as much. Plus the Dijon mustard gives great flavor. I'm going to add some oregano, some dried oregano to this. You could add whatever herb you like. Oregano happens to be excellent antibacterial and antiviral properties and is used around the world. We're going to add just a pinch of salt, maybe 2 pinches of salt, little baby ones, and some pepper. Just give it another little whisk. Again, this is enough for 2 bowls, which we can start to build now. In our bowl today we're doing some quinoa. And quinoa has been used in South America for thousands of years. The Incas called it the mother of all grains. But it's actually not a grain, it's a seed, very much related to the beet seed. And it has all the protein that you would ever want in a grain, super high protein, super high fiber. It's gluten-free, so that's great. And it can be used for breakfast, it can be used for stir fries. It's really wonderful. It's a great source of fiber and absolutely delicious. And it comes in white or black or red. The one that we're using is actually a blend of all 3. It's a tri-colored. And I think it's pretty and interesting. It's got these little halos around it. It looks like an ethereal little grain. So building on our bowl, we're going to add some diced cherry tomatoes or grape tomatoes. If you have, tomatoes are in season right now and they're fabulous. And when they are, they're delicious. You could just dice up a regular tomato. That would be great. We're going to add some bell peppers. These are yellow bell peppers this time. We used red bell peppers in our Asian bowl, but all bell peppers are great. Especially green bell peppers are actually underripe red or yellow bell peppers. If you leave them on the plant long enough, they'll turn red or yellow. And much higher in nutrients when they come fully mature. We have some chopped cucumber. Delicious. I just partially peeled that, and I took a spoon and removed the seeds because they're a little bit watery, and if you're prepping stuff ahead of time, that's great. Some beets. Beets are really a beautiful food. They're a little bit messy to cook, but they're fun. I just roast them, and beets are extremely good for your heart. They lower your blood pressure by dilating your blood vessels. So they have a thing in them called nitrates, which becomes nitric oxide, and when it helps dilate your blood vessels, so it helps reduce the chance of heart attacks and strokes, and can also has been shown to boost athletic performance, so that's great. So you can't beat beets, they're great for you. If you don't want to make them yourself, you can buy them in this package that's already roasted and cooked, and it just contains beets. because beets can get a little bit messy. They can stain your hands and the kitchen. It looks like a big mess. But delicious, use them, and you can use them pickled, you can roast them, grill them after, they're just delicious. So we have all of those things, and then we have some roast chicken. I think I'll just do it like this and maybe put the chicken on top. We've got some rotisserie chicken that I just cubed up, or maybe I will make it on the side, what the heck. And you could use leftover turkey, chicken breast, whatever you want to do. We just like to add a little extra protein because I happen to have it there. We're going to top this off with some feta cheese, just a little bit of feta cheese cubed up, delish. Some Kalamata olives that these are pitted, and I just cut them into little quarters so that they would go a little further. They're a source of sodium and fat, but it's good fat and it has just so much flavor. You could put some store-bought hummus on top if you'd like. Where's my other little spatula? Or make your own. Nice little blob of hummus would be great in there too. And then top it off with your favorite herb. Today I'm going to use some fresh basil because I just happen to have it in my garden. A little wilted out there. Just going to give it a quick chop. You could use dill, parsley, mint, all traditional flavors in Mediterranean cuisine. Just pop that on top. And then our sauce, of course, drizzle that on, just half, save the other half for another time. Mmm, so good. I've been eating these bowls like crazy because they're just so delicious. This one I eat cold, but the other ones I actually warm up in the microwave a little bit. It's more soothing and comforting. Nothing like holding a nice, comforting bowl of something warm to your chest. It makes the world feel like it's a much better place. So there we have it, our Mediterranean bowl. So now we've come to our final, well, almost final maybe, bowl of our Southwest style veggie, grain, and protein bowl. And these are some of my most favorite flavors. Really got a lot of interesting flavors and textures going on. This one is all plant-based protein. And we're gonna start by making our sauce again with fresh lime juice, which is delicious. Please try not to use the canned stuff. Limes are very, very easy to squeeze. I use one of, these little gadgets. I just cut the lime in half and squeeze it through there, and it works great. There's lots of different squeezers, and it's a great source of vitamin C, which boosts your immune system, and is wonderful. We're gonna add our obligatory garlic. Again, great for your blood vessels, great for your heart, and great for your immune system. We have some chipotle chili powder, which is a smoked jalapeno, some cumin, so it's a little bit spicy and a little smoky flavor. If you didn't have chipotle chili, you could use smoked paprika and regular chili powder, cumin, and a little pinch of salt we're gonna add in there. And stir that around. I like the chipotle chili, it gives great, and I use it for a lot of things. Little agave nectar that we're using, very traditional. It's made from cactus, same stuff tequila is made out of, agave, and good plant-based. And again, a tablespoon and a half of avocado oil, and I like that because again, it's a neutral oil, but it has all the health benefits of olive oil. And those are my two main oils that I use in my house, olive oil and avocado oil for their health benefits. And avocado, because it's neutral and has a nice high smoke point, so it's great for sauteing at a higher temperature. So we'll just set, so we're going to be using some black beans. I'm gonna put a little bit of this sauce on our black beans. And whenever I use black beans, I always wash the can first, and at least wipe it off, open it, drain it in a strainer, rinse it very well under cold water until it's all stopped being funny looking. Rinse the can out a few times and run that over it. And then start with my bean recipe, but you really want to drain and rinse your beans well. And so we've got our beans. Beans are like a blank canvas, and they taste great when you can put anything on them and they'll taste wonderful. Black beans have wonderful health benefits. They are high in fiber. I'm gonna put a little bit of our sauce on our beans just to soak up some of that flavor. Beans are good for your heart. They actually lower your cholesterol. So that whoever created that little jaunty song, they beans, they are really good for your heart. And you drain and rinse them, they won't cause the other problems that are going along with that little jaunty song. And the more that you eat of them, the more your digestive tract likes them because they feed your good gut bacteria. Beans are awesome for your gut. They are a good source of folate for DNA synthesis, and they're just wonderful. So we're doing that. We're actually going to start building our bowl with the cauliflower rice today, just to make it a little bit different. And it's delicious. This was pre-cooked like I showed earlier. And just do it in a skillet for a couple minutes till it gets a little crisp tender. I don't like it overcooked, and it just tastes great. It's grain-free, so those of you who are having problems eating grains, or if you're on a weight management program, lower grains will help you lose weight a little bit faster. We have some beautiful chopped cherry tomatoes. Again, you could use a regular tomato, dice it up, and that is delish. We had corn for dinner the other night, so I just saved some of that, and we're going to toss that in. It was just frozen corn that I put in a skillet, and we have it for dinner, so that was great. We're going to be, again, putting a little bit of the red cabbage. I'm going to put a little sauce on that red cabbage too, just to start to give that a little bit more flavor. Good crunch, good texture, bright colors, eating that rainbow. Ah, delish. And then we're going to add our black beans that have been marinating here a little bit. You could do those ahead of time and let them marinate a little bit longer. Tomatoes are hiding now. We're going to top this with a nice piece of avocado or some sliced avocado. You want to pick your avocados so that they are just tender when pressed in, just like a ripe pear. It's actually called an alligator pear. You cut around the pit in the middle and open it up. Always buy an extra avocado in case they look really nasty on the inside, which does happen on occasion. I just cut them in half like that, and I peel them like a banana. This one does have some little funky bits in it. Maybe this one looks a little bit better. Just cut out those little iffy looking parts. And then just slice it or dice it. And put that on top for great texture. Avocados are a good fat and also full of fiber. Delicious. Going on, we're going to top it with some scallions. Yummy. Some cilantro. If you don't like cilantro, then don't put it on. It's the most commonly used herb in the world, and some people think it tastes like soap. I happen to love the taste of it, but there are cilantro lovers and cilantro haters. So if you don't like it, use your herb of choice. You could put pickled jalapenos on top if you like. We have some pickled jalapenos there. If you like something extra spicy. So instead of cilantro, you could use parsley. We're going to drizzle this with our chili lime vinaigrette and let it get all saucy. And there you have it, a fiesta in a bowl. The Southwest style veggie, grain, and protein bowl. And I thought I'd throw in one more bonus breakfast bowl, which is going to be just fun to do because we had some quinoa here, and quinoa is not just savory, but it can be sweet too because it's very neutral. Great source of protein. We're gonna add some quinoa to our bowl. We're gonna top it with a little bit of vanilla yogurt. Also a good source of protein. Yummy. We're going to add some fresh berries to it. We've got some strawberries. We've got some raspberries. I wash my berries in a salad spinner. I fill this with hot water. Hot, I know it sounds weird. And put the berries in here. Don't overcrowd it, just let them swim around, dance around a little bit. Drain it off. If you see this water is grimy looking, dump it out, rinse, repeat. and then spin them and put them on a paper towel to dry, and keep them in your refrigerator, and they will prevent them from going moldy, so you won't have a little science experiment in your refrigerator. So those fresh raspberries. Our sauce I made is just some maple syrup that I put through a handful of blueberries in and just cooked it until they popped. So we're just going to throw some blueberry syrup on top of that. Delish. My husband loves this. We have some toasted nuts. Get raw nuts and toast them, but watch them very carefully. When you put them in a dry skillet, you have to not walk away because they tend to burn. I actually burned some of these earlier today. And just put that on for our crunchy topping. You could put granola on the top too, that would be great. Any kind of nut. Get a nice sliced orange there. And there you've got a beautiful, quick and easy breakfast bowl. So thank you so much for joining me today to make some amazing bowls. Plan ahead, do some prep work, get your grains going, chop and cut up your veggies. Just have fun with this. You can customize it to make it your own. You can use a lot of pantry staples. If you don't want to make your own sauce, there are some ready-made sauces. You don't have to, you can use canned salmon. Canned beans are great. If you want to use roasted peppers or grilled artichokes or get pre-cut beets, you can use salsa, hot peppers, and breakfast bowls you can make with any leftover grains and berries and all kinds of goodies. We have your Asian-inspired, your Mediterranean, your Southwest style, and our beautiful bonus breakfast bowl. Make it your own, make it fun and fabulous, eat well and be healthy. Thank you so much. Have a great day.